Hi there, it is Friday, March the 10th, and I can't remember what episode this is, but this is my first vlog since Vlogentine. So to everybody that watched, thank you so much. It was fun. What's been going on since? I guess I had my girls' getaway, and I did take footage, which maybe I'll pop at the end of this video. But we had a great time. So first off, my name's Amanda. I'm coming to you from Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada. I'm an East Coast girl. This is my vlog about knitting. I'm the dyer behind Sweet Skein of mine. Usually in my other vlog, like my daily vlogs, I do a little bit of cooking. But today I'm just going to talk to you about and just fill you in on some finished objects, some whips. I've got one acquisition, and yeah, I'll just show you a little bit of yarn that I've dyed. So but yeah, back to my girls' getaway. We had a great time. We did our girls swap. The girls loved getting their VNECK jars, and we drank the coffee infused vodka. It was delicious. Mixed it with some Kahlua, a little bit of maraschino cherry juice, shaken, and it was a really yummy sipper. And some of us even put a little bit of milk in it just to kind of soften the edge, but it was a hit. As for the gift exchange, there was mugs, pens, which, because it's kind of like the theme is we treat each other to one of our favorite things. So the pens were a hit. I love those, Michelle. We're using them like crazy. Yes, bath stuff. I wanted to show you one thing that I got. Nancy knit us all scrunchies. And anyway, it was such a fun, sweet surprise. Nancy, we love them. I hope the color, she used my yarn. I think she used my yarn for all of our scrunchies, actually, but the time that went into these and the thought, and they're beautiful. So we all got a scrunchie, which was adorable. So I put this aside because I wanted to make sure I shared this with you. I'll find out what the pattern was. She made some modifications, and anyway, yeah, I can find out what that is, and then maybe put it on my Instagram stories. But anyway, thank you again, Nancy. So yeah, I hope hopefully the footage is saved on this camera, and I can pop in a little blip of that 2-night sleepover. It was so much fun. So I think I'll just hop right into it and show you. I guess I have one acquisition. No, I have two acquisitions. So first one is this beautiful yarn. It's called Cupid's Bow. It's the mohair, and is this the MCN? Oh, it doesn't say. I'm not sure what it is. It's sock yarn. I'm sure it looks like the 80/20. So it's the Chelsea Luxe. Christina and I did a little Galentine Day swap, and this was in my gift along with some fun journaling supplies and lots of candy, but this is beautiful. So held together, I think this is going to make a gorgeous, gorgeous scarf. And then she tied this beautiful silk hand-dyed pink ribbon on it as well. So I may take that off and copy her and Tanny Casey on my Wave of Change cardigan and put the bow right there. So very pretty. So I have that as an acquisition. And my other acquisition, this was a total impulsive purchase. I was on the Knitting Loft's website, and I think I had mentioned before, I loved this Lolo Bar Tea Party. It's the smell. I can't put my finger on what the smell is. It's called Tea Party, and there's definitely like hints of tea, like a bergamot tea, but it's not bergamot. Anyway, so I'm on the website for this, and then I remembered seeing Jody from the Grocery Girls, one of her sweaters it's a V-neck sweater, and she did it in hedgehog fibers, and she did it in the one that had all of the little remnants in it. It ends up looking like neps throughout the sweater, like confetti, but it's recycled yarn. Anyway, La Bien Amie, Amy, did the same thing with her, in her yarn dyeing company. So the Knitting Loft had these in stock, and I decided, like I said, it was so impulsive. I went on for balm, and I ended up with a sweater's quantity of this yarn. So it's the Corriedale, and it's the gray Corrie with all of the colorful flecks in it. It's called Gray Bow. Gray Bow. So it's this gray Corriedale yarn, and what she's done is, she mentioned on her website, you know, there's always waste yarn and remnants and everything after they've dyed, whether the yarn didn't turn out or it's just waste yarn. So they figured out a way how to take all of these little bits of yarn, and they had it milled into this, when the yarn was spun, they added all of the waste yarn to this yarn. I hope I'm talking clearly. I know what I'm thinking, but it's not coming out right. But in the process of this yarn, all of the waste yarn was added. So what you get is all of these different color flecks throughout the yarn. So I started the sweater. So the sweater that Jody had knit, it was the NORTHWOODS V-neck sweater by JESSIE MAED Designs. And I started this like a week ago. And, oh, I'm losing stitches. So this is where I'm at. It is an amazing pattern. You start with the back and, you know, work on your short rows and put the stitches on hold, and then you pick up on the shoulders, work a bunch of short rows, and, you know, continue knitting, and then it joins in the round, and it's got a really nice deep V on this sweater. So where I'm at now is I've joined in the round after working on the back. Where are we here? So there's the back. And there's the front. So as you can see, it's definitely going to have a really nice deep V. And yeah, so knit up this, all of these little flecks of waste yarn have created this beautiful multi-patterned yarn. It's so pretty. So I've been just like knitting away on this in the morning, and it's flying. It's a worsted yarn, so it's knitting up quickly. The feeling of this yarn is beautiful. It's so soft. It's not, I mean, I don't find it scratchy at all. It's beautiful. So I think this is the first time I've actually knit with a Corriedale yarn, and I love it. It's very airy and fluffy. It's going to have some nice drape to it. So where I'm at now, I've got a good 5 inches probably to knit before I hit the ribbing, and then my arms. So anyway, it's beautiful. There's every color in there. So there's my first whip and acquisition. That was, I had no idea I was going to do that. So another whip I have on the go right now, I started it on our girls' getaway. Oh, and by the way, it's in my beautiful Tanny Casey quilted fuchsia pink bag. Forgot to mention that. It's got a little leather handle. I love Tanny's bags. She's got like it's all full of pockets. Beautiful canvas on the inside. And then my second whip is in my Madder Root bag. It's one of the trundle bags I showed on my project bag haul stash, whatever you want to call it. So I had shown this yarn my friend Meg gave me. It's the Quince & Co. on the Phoebe base, colorway Aphrodite. It's this really bright magenta pink. It's gorgeous. So I started this hat, and the hat I chose to knit, actually Meg had sent it to me. It's called Hadfield by Pam Allen, made for Quince & Co. I have to take it all apart. 2 nights of sitting around and eating and drinking and late nights, I thought, what a great way to, you know, cast on this hat and enjoy an easy knit. It's not that it's not easy, it's fisherman's rib. So one row is regular knit purl, the next row is fisherman knit purl, and I thought I was reading my knitting properly, but I wasn't. So I've got the stitches all messed up, and so I'm gonna have to rip it out because I can't figure out where I went wrong. Yeah, so I'm gonna take this apart, and I'm also thinking it looks too, well, maybe not too tight, but I'm gonna redo this. I have to. I've made too many errors, and but it's beautiful. Oh, it's so soft. I really love this yarn. It's gorgeous. Thank you again, Meg. So that's my second whip, and my only other whip. Finished objects. I have Dan's grandmother's birthday is on Saturday, and usually it's one of those things he tells me last minute, so I never have time to really make anything. But this time he gave me enough notice that I was like, okay, good, I want to make her something for her birthday. So I had some leftover of my DK MCN blush colorway, and I decided to make her a Sophie scarf. So the Sophie scarf uses 1 skein. This, it looks large. I made the size small, and it looks larger because I did block it nicely. But I also went up half a needle size. I think it calls for a 3.5 millimeter, and I used a 4. So I learned from the first time I made a Sophie scarf, as I was knitting, the fabric was feeling a little too dense, and I didn't want it to be stiff. I wanted it to tie nicely. So anyway, so here it is. So this is a birthday gift I'm going to give her tomorrow night at dinner. Another Sophie scarf, and I kind of learned how to knit this without having to use a pen and paper, because I had knit the shawl and the scarf, and it was one of those things that I was finding tedious because I had to keep, you know, you have to keep track of where you're going to, which row you make your increase or decrease as you're winding down. But anyway, the way my mind works, it usually takes me a while. So third scarf, I realized if I just put one of those little light bulb stitch markers on every stitch, and then I can read the rows and know without having it. Just, this flew. I did this in a day and a half because I wasn't taking the time to write down my stitches, if that makes sense. But I did manage to get this off the needles super quick because of that. So just marking my stitches, and I was just able to keep knitting and not have to stop and keep track. So it's done, and I hope she loves it. Again, it's in the MCN DK, which is so soft, colorway blush. I've had a few questions about this colorway, and it's definitely a beautiful soft pink, but it's more on the fleshy side of pink as opposed to baby pink. I do have a baby pink now, which is up there. I'll grab it, hang on. It is in English Rose. So this is a paler baby pink if you want more of a softer. So I love this blush. So that is a finished object that will be gifted tomorrow. So I have that, and then last but not least, I showed on Instagram, I finished my girlfriend's cardigan. So to talk this out, I thought I was making the size large, and when I went to pick up the stitches on the shoulder, I realized I had too many stitches and I wasn't understanding what happened. And then I looked, and this cast on from here to here had size extra large stitches. It didn't matter. All that it made me do is it created more of a dropped shoulder. So from here to here was fine. I had to count over the amount of stitches that I did too many and leave that as a gap right from here to here. So on the pattern, this should be flush with each other, but it's got a little bit of a gap, and to be honest, I think it kind of makes it even better. It sits better on the back of your neck. So again, it's got a little bit more of a dropped shoulder. I did not follow the sleeve instructions. I did my own sleeves just because they would have been too long, and I wanted to keep these a little bit wider and not do as many decreases as there was in the pattern. So all my modifications are on my Ravelry page. But anyway, it's a beautiful knit. It's a just garter stitch. The sleeves, you're knitting a row, purling a row, because it's in the round. So in order to get the garter effect, that's the only time you're not just going back and forth, which makes knitting so fast. It's got this fake seam along the arm with that I-cord, which has also got around the sleeve and down the sides. So I definitely recommend making this sweater. This was not difficult. I made a mistake because I didn't take the time to read and circle properly, but that's me. I make a mistake in everything I knit, and I don't care. I just make it work. So it just turned out to be this beautiful oversized cardie. When I blocked it, I really yanked it down to kind of take out the width because it was quite boxy. But I think it turned out beautiful. I love it. And the surprise is, because the person's probably watching this, this was never meant for me. So this is a gift for somebody. So yeah, I haven't talked about that at all because I don't want to ruin the surprise, but you know what? Who cares? I'm going to do a vlog during Easter, and you will see who receives it, because that's going to be fun. Anyway, so that's a big sweater. This was a lot of knitting. It was done in another item that was done in my MCN colorway blush. It's a good color. It just goes with everything. I love it. So ta-da! It's done. So now I just have to finish knitting away on the V-neck sweater, and I will have that done. So that is really all I have for lined up knitting. I haven't picked out anything else to work on after that, but knowing me, I'll definitely find something and get distracted. So that's kind of it. I just wanted to do a quick catch up, show you everything that's been knit on and completed. What else? It's March, so thank you to those who got yarn of the month. I didn't dye a lot of like St. Patrick's Day kind of yarn. I did do a couple of things, which I'll show you quickly. I did do a sock set. This is Shamrock Shake. So It'll have a little bit of a micro stripe in it. It's got some gold, some peach, a little bit of green in it, and then I just did a fun orchid purple mini to go with it. So I have that. And then I did a little mini skein set. It's called Lucky Charms. Just tried to emulate all of the colors of the Lucky Charm marshmallow in the cereal. So other than that, I think that's it. So hope everybody's doing well. I'm going to, it's Friday, so I've got some pizza crusts on the go, and I'm going to meet Jane for happy hour, go have a beer or a glass of wine somewhere, and then they'll be over for supper. So I think I'm just going to get this uploaded now while I have time, and yeah, wish you guys all happy Friday, happy knitting, and I will see you soon. Okay, bye.
Ran down my heart, I let you go. Do it alone, won't let you know. I'm out in the night with someone new. It's not what I want, he's not you. At least it's something fun to do. Put on some makeup, yeah, for you. For your love I volunteer. But tonight I just don't care. Some things I cannot change. Fade out. Happy when we fade out slowly. I wish I could say it out loud. Tell you about my big feelings. I'm happy when we fade out so